A lot of Stranger Things fans keep saying the same thing. Vecna is a parallel of Will Byers. At first, that sounds like a stretch. One is a supernatural villain, the other is just a kid who survived something he never should have. But when you look closely, the show actually builds this parallel very intentionally. So let's break down how Vecna mirrors Will and why that parallel matters so much to the story. The outsider parallel. Both Will Byers and Henry Creel are introduced as outsiders. They're quiet, sensitive, and disconnected from the people around them. Neither of them fits into the world they're born into. The key difference is support. Will has friends who fight for him even when he's gone. Henry grows up feeling isolated and misunderstood with no emotional safety net. Stranger Things uses this contrast to show how the same personality traits can lead to very different outcomes. Do you think Henry would have turned out differently if he had a group like Will did? I guess that's just another what if. The upside down connection. Vecna isn't just part of the upside down, he's merged with it. Will, on the other hand, is the human character most closely connected to it. He survived it, he was possessed by it, and even years later, he can still sense Vecna's presence. In Season 4, Will physically reacts the moment Vecna is near, even when no one else notices, just the same way Henry instinctively sensed the upside down as a child. That lingering connection isn't accidental. It positions Will as the human counterpart on the other side of the conflict. He doesn't control the upside down, but he understands it. Trauma. Vecna's power comes from trauma. He feeds on guilt, fear, and emotional pain, both his own and others. That pain becomes fuel. Will has also experienced deep trauma, being taken, being possessed, losing his sense of a normal childhood. The difference is how they respond to it. Vecna turns pain into hatred and control. Will internalizes it, often staying quiet and emotionally withdrawn. Same source, different response. Connection to others. The contrast between Will and Vecna becomes clear when you look at how they interact with other people on screen. Vecna consistently isolates his victims before killing them. Chrissy is alone in the trailer. Fred is separated on the road. Patrick is pulled away from the group at Lover's Lake. Isolation is part of Vecna's method. Will's most important scenes work in the opposite way. In Season 1, he survives by staying connected, communicating through the lights on the wall. Do you think Vecna avoids targeting Will because that connection makes him harder to break? Why this matters. Will isn't meant to become Vecna, he's meant to oppose him. Vecna represents what happens when trauma is met with isolation. Will represents what happens when trauma is met with support and connection. That's why Will's role in the final season matters so much. He understands Vecna not because he agrees with him, but because he could have been him under different circumstances, and that understanding might be the key to ending everything. Vecna is what happens when that path leads to control and resentment. Will is what happens when it leads to connection. That parallel isn't accidental. It's the backbone of the story's final conflict.